Guys, hey fam, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. How you guys doing? So recently, I think it was in my last vlog, I told you guys that I am kid free, as in I sent my kids to my parents' house for just a break because I needed it. I realized that I was shouting like, you guys, I don't know, I tried this gentle parenting thing and I don't even know if I'm doing good at it. And I'm not fully African parent either, because I don't necessarily believe in like spanking and all of that. But these children, they will test you, okay? But there's something I discovered, that in the bid to send my kids to my parents' house for a break, okay, and just hang out with my husband, because that's what we did. We did take away, we watched a few movies, we watched Ebuka Takes Africa. Okay, it was very interesting, we love that. Zubi Michael is hilarious. So we watched that, but I realized that even my husband needs a break from me and the kids sometimes. Okay, he sent me a meme that I'm going to put here, a video on Instagram, and he was just like, wait for it. And that part made me realize that, oh, me, I think, oh, I need a break from my family and, you know, my kids especially, but sometimes my husband. And my husband also needs a break from me. Anyway, that's not the point, yeah. So kid free, I used my time wisely. Hung out with my husband, like I said, did a bit of shopping, because you guys know when you take kids shopping, the thing that you don't plan to buy, you end up buying it. I just got my life together. I feel like I even look fresher. But that also may mean that I'm off, my period is done, so I feel better. But anyway, yeah, so I'm getting ready for work now. I'm doing my makeup, and I wanted to talk about something with you guys. I wanted to talk about the fact that you see this parenting thing that we talk about, there is no manual. I said it in my last video, there is no manual. But I think that even if there is no manual, there are some basic, like, common sense things that you should know. And one of the common sense things is that before you get married, or as you get married, before you start having kids, have the conversation about parenting style with your partners, okay? Know if the person is like African parent kind of parenting style, the person is calmer, the person is chill, the person is, I know you guys, gentle parenting or in between. Because one of the conflicts I realized in the first few years of my marriage, but mainly the first year, because I had kids immediately, I started having kids right away, is that parenting style, the conflicts in parenting style might actually cause conflict between parents because you don't agree. And there's one thing that I know about marriage to be true, is that a united front is the most important thing, okay? Standing together, as in having one voice as a couple, is important. You can disagree behind the scenes, but when you disagree in front of your kids, in front of people, strangers or whatever, it just brings that form of disunity. Even in the kingdom, like even in heaven and spiritual realm, you are seen as one, a partner. So when you stand in agreement in prayer, in parenting, in making decisions and all of that, you make progress. Like, it's faster, it's stronger. So like I said, there's no manual, but as a family, you should decide the manual that you are going to use, okay? You should decide the pattern. I feel like one eyebrow is bigger than the other one. Let me try and fix it. You should decide the pattern that you're going to use, because these kids are very, very intelligent. They will play mother against father. They will make one look like the good guy all the time. And that good guy, bad guy thing that a lot of people even do. I feel like one person should not be bad guy all the time. You should switch it up. I beg, you should switch it up. So anyway, what am I saying? In the first year of marriage, I discovered that I was basically parenting from a place of trauma, okay? Or a place of fear. First of all, I was born like in a human rights organization. What do I mean by that? My mom was part of FIDA, part of NGO. She was a part of Safe Motherhood, the Adolescent Project, and all of that. That's where I get my activism and stuff from. So from birth, like sometimes they'll pick me from school and they'll drop me off there. Like my mom is still working, okay? She just had to take a break and pick me up from school and all of that. She just had to take a break and pick me up from school and all of that. And then what happens is that I'm stuck in this place, okay? I think I'm going to use fancy today. I'm stuck in the organization and I'm seeing mothers coming with their kids crying about how their fathers abused them or how their fathers have abandoned them and this and this and that. Plus, I came from a strict home as well. So by the time I became a parent, I started parenting from trauma. Oh, I don't want to do this. I'm afraid that I will ruin my child. I'm afraid that my child will become one of those people that hates their parents. I'm afraid that this and this and this and this will happen. You get? I don't know if that makes any sense. So I was really parenting from a place of fear. And my husband, on the other hand, was parenting from a place of, I do not want to raise rotten, like spoiled kids. I do not want to raise kids that don't have manners, that don't, understand consequences and repercussions and all of that. So he was a bit stricter than I was, okay? So the conflict came from when he would want to discipline the kids in quotes. That's like, say, with a firm voice that, oh, Jasmine, what you've done is wrong, or, that kind of thing. And I'll be like, oh no, don't shout at her. Oh no, don't raise your voice. Not necessarily like he was raising his voice. Don't do this, don't do that. We were always fighting about how to discipline our kids, okay? So this conversation I'm having is to tell you that, you have to have the conversation beforehand because it will cause problems. My husband had to sit me down one day. He had to sit me down one day and be like, what exactly are you afraid of? Like, what exactly is troubling you? What exactly do you think? By the way, if you're hearing the kids' voice, they are back. Oh, this kid-free thing happened before. They are back already. They spent 3 days with my mom, or 2 days with my mom, and they are back. So, yeah. As I was saying, is that he was like, what are you afraid of? What exactly is troubling you? What do you think I will do to our kids? Do you think I will harm our kids? Do you think this and this? And this was a time where, mommy blogs were now getting popular. 2020 COVID, everybody was sitting at home. And so it's like people are reporting their husbands and you just start seeing red flags where they are not red flags, okay? Anyway, so basically the question was, what are you afraid of? Do you think I'll ruin your kids? And as I was saying that, I was hearing a lot of like negative things. Also, see, be careful what you watch, be careful what you listen to. These mommy vlogs can be entertaining, mommy websites rather, they can be entertaining, and it can be a place for you to, like, let's say you want to help somebody, give your opinion and all of that. But the more you read about negative partners, about bad partners, I'm telling you from fact that you start to see red flags where they are none. Just something your partner will do, you'll be like, hey, is this a red flag? Is this a red flag? Is this a red flag? So he started asking, we started having the hard conversations, okay? And we had to sit down and agree on the type of parenting that we wanted to do with our kids, okay? Less yelling, which we're still yelling every day. Less spanking, we barely spank the kids, but anyway. Yeah, less spanking and more trying to teach, okay, and correct, and also lead by example. I said one time that I realized that Jasmine has started being rude to domestic staff. And she wasn't being rude deliberately, what I realized. At first, we were like, oh, why are you so rude? Don't be rude. Speak to her. Respect her. Blah, blah, blah. I realized that sometimes it's where I speak to people. When I'm upset, when I'm angry, the way I raise my voice, what I say, the girl is copying me. Your kids are copying you. So we have to consciously say, regardless of how it is, even with each other, when we are arguing with each other, arguing on whatever, we have to learn to be respectful to each other because our kids are watching, they're listening. You will hear conversations that Jasmine will repeat and you will not even believe that she was in the room when it happened or she heard us when we were speaking. So why am I sharing this? I'm sharing this that, see, in 2023, we have to do better as parents, okay? We have to do better as parents. 2024, rather, in this new generation, we have to do better as parents. We have to be very intentional as parents because the world is raising crazy type of children, okay? You will do your best at home. By the time you send them to school, they come back a different person if they are not fully grounded in the principles which you have taught them. Okay, if they're not fully grounded in what you have taught them as like parents. There's a lot of peer pressure, it's a lot of competition, the devil is working over time, other agents of darkness are working over time. Okay, parenting standards differ in different homes, so your standard may be higher than others. Okay, and so you have to be careful. Now the next thing I want to point out is the issue of domestic staff. You guys, let me give an example of something. As you can see, I'm heading to work. My kids are on break, right? So they're at home. Okay, we have cameras in the house, CCTV, so I always check the cameras to make sure they're okay. Sometimes I send it to my parents' house, and I'm doing light makeup by the way because of work. I send it to my parents' house just so that there's another person there watching them. My husband's cousin is around, but she's a copper, so she goes to work every day, but she comes home earlier than I do. So basically what I'm saying is that my kids are home with this domestic staff. See, let me give you an example. Lily Jane started very early with the what they call the pincer grip. So she knew how to hold her cutlery, she knew how to hold her spoon, she knew how to hold everything properly. And even in her school, when she started school, they were so impressed because none of the kids could feed themselves at that age when she was in school, when she started crash. And so we're like, oh, Lily Jane is going to write early, she's going to what's it called, she's going to write early, she's going to be very intelligent, blah 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 blah, very independent. In fact, she won several awards for being very independent. So all of a sudden I discovered that Lily Jane can no longer, like, the other day I made breakfast and I gave her the spoon and she was like, mommy, feed me. I was like, when did this one start? Feed me. Okay, because to me, I make breakfast, I keep it, I go and get ready for work, I go to school and all of that. Lily Jane was like, mommy, feed me. And I'm confused, like, you know how to feed yourself now. Where did that come from? So I now said, Lily, feed yourself, you can do it now. And next thing, I saw the help, not this one that giving me now, take the spoon from her and start feeding her. And I was like, when did this start? Like, the last time I checked, Lily Jane was feeding herself. She's like, so that she will be fast and so that she will not mess up the place. Now, you know that when toddlers are learning to eat and feed themselves, of course, they mess up the place. Everywhere gets scattered, everywhere gets nasty, right? Generally speaking, that's just how toddlers are. I now discovered that these girls were deliberately feeding the kids, okay, so that these girls were deliberately feeding the kids so that they will avoid work, that's avoid cleaning and all of that. So all the training I did, because I was alone for a while before she came, I didn't have help before this particular girl came, all the training I did went down the drain. Everything I did went down the drain. So what am I saying? Even in your home, if you're not intentional, if you are not particular, we can be very busy. Life is very busy, I understand it, but if you're not particular, everything you've done will be for waste. These people don't care about your children. Domestic staff don't care. Majority of them, they are there to work, and majority of them were not even nannies. Okay, they were not trained nannies, they're not trained caregivers, they are not trained with children. Maybe the only experience they had is carrying their younger siblings. They don't have any experience with children. And so what it is that when they come to your homes, they just come to work and make money. They don't know anything about children. So you have to be on top of your game regardless of how busy you are. I can't say this enough, I cannot stress this enough. Regardless of how busy you are, put your eye down because you don't know what's happening. Put your eye down because you don't know what's happening. Now the final thing I will say is set boundaries, okay, with your family members and in-laws. I know this is very difficult, okay, because me too, I can't talk and do eyeliner. Let me just finish. I know this is very difficult because me too, I experience it. Like I try to set boundaries, but I know, like, oh, I don't want to offend anyone, okay, I don't want to cause family drama and all of that stuff. Like, you know that scenario I talked about where my what's it called, the lady kind of not really accosted me, but she choked her mouth and what was not her business, okay, and it caused issues. I didn't react too much. Like, I actually stopped her, but I didn't react how I would ordinarily react because I was just trying to avoid issues. But then with my family, I'm even more chill because like I said, I don't want to cause drama, but I think that, and I know that, and I've started doing that. See, nobody can spank my kids. Nobody shoots. No matter how the auntie you are, no matter the grandmother or whatever you are. See, if I'm not there, don't do it. Okay, don't do it, please. You need to set. We need to set adequate boundaries, okay? We need to set adequate boundaries with our family members, with our friends, with our siblings, with their teachers in school, all of that. That come, you can't mess with my kids, okay, and get away with it. Don't even bother. Don't even try, okay? I know that is work parenting, because they say, oh, it's a community. But I feel like things I won't do to my kids, other people shouldn't do it as well, okay? And then parents, learn to advocate for your kids as well, okay? Learn to speak up. If they complain about a teacher, complain about a help, complain about something, understand where they are coming from. Understand why they need what they need. Don't just shut it down. Sometimes we think that it's just children, okay? They are just speaking, so we don't pay attention to their complaints, we don't pay attention to their worries and their concerns. But they're not just children, these are human beings that have feelings as well. So if you take that into consideration, you'll be surprised to learn that your kids actually know what they're talking about. So I told you that my daughter was raising her voice. They were always getting into issues with this new nanny, and I had to ask her, like, what's going on? Like, I actually prayed about it. I was like, Holy Spirit, help me, teach me how to navigate this new scenario with Jasmine. Like, why is she behaving the way she is? And I called her. I was like, Jasmine, why are you doing this? Like, you're not normally so combative. Why are you shouting? Why are you always having issues with this, your nanny? And I know kids just want to be, they want to test your limits and all of that. But I felt there was something deeper. So I spoke with her, and she was like, oh, she misses the other nanny, the one that left, okay? And I just realized that my child was acting out, okay? She was just acting out because, like I said, we have gone through several nannies, we have gone through several house helps, not through any fault of our own. I mean, you can come and put camera in my house and do microscope and realize that, oh, I'm not the problem actually. I can be firm, I can be strict, I can be actually really demanding, but I'm a very fair employer. People that have worked with me in the past will tell you. So these people, sometimes they just come and they expect that they will chill, expect that they will dress anyhow. The one that left was just wearing some kind of clothes in my home, and I was like, I beg, this thing cannot happen. Anyway, that's not the point. She was acting out, okay? So advocate for your kids, listen to your kids. Parenting in Nigeria and in 2024 is very different from our own time. It's very different from our parents' time. So as young women, as fathers, anybody that's listening to me, intending fathers and mothers, see, we have to be very intentional and hold God, hold God. Like, hold God. Start from now. Your children are not too small to learn memory verses. They're not too small to learn affirmations. They're not too small to learn to build their confidence, to learn prayers, to learn praise and worship. They are not too young to start learning about God. Let us try our best, okay? I'll end this video by saying that I used to be a very judgmental person. When you're a Christian and you think you're better than others, it's a bad thing, okay? I used to be very judgmental of parents. I will do better. I've said it before, but honestly speaking, as a parent now, I'm realizing that it is not easy. You go to bed worried. You sleep in the morning, you are worried. You wake up and you go to the office, you are worried. In school, you are worried. You are praying. You are, God, please help my children. Oh, this. Everything you are doing is now revolving around your kids, That's why it's so overwhelming, and I had to take a break, okay? So at the end of the day, do your best, okay? Because we are only like adoptive parents in the sense of the word, that we're only holding these children, or foster parents rather, we're only holding these children till God calls them to whatever purpose they have. So we should do our best, to do you understand what I mean? To be there for them. I hope this video makes sense. I'm done with my makeup, just mascara left, and I think I did a good job. So I'm heading to work now. I'll see you guys later. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, okay? Like this video, subscribe, and share with your friends. Bye.